online, so let's go ahead and open her up for the first mayor's meeting of 2025. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
Thank you.
Who do we want to start with?
Well, Randy Doherty is on the top. He isn't here, but he did send us, and I have that here if you want me to read it and just get.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh no, sorry about Henson. Wednesday mayoral meeting. This is his report for Baker City. Council continues to work on renewing franchise agreements. Fire department is at full staffing along with the new fire chief starting in early February. Public Works Department has completed 10 straight years with no workplace injuries, a great accomplishment. Baker City will be hosting the Oregon's Mayor Conference for 3 days in August, which that's pretty exciting. LOC, League of Oregon Cities, will be in Baker City for elected officials training January 31st. And he says that they look forward to a calm, stable, and productive city council and government for 25.
So the number one on that email was that they had a council meeting last night and they were supposed to elect their mayor and all that. And I did not hear.
I didn't hear either. I didn't think to ask Donnie when she was in here.
Sorry, I missed what.
A new mayor for,
New mayor
they were supposed to vote on the mayor last night.
Did you guys
They
cover
were sworn in.
Baker City Council meeting?
Jason, do you know?
Randy.
It is
That's
Randy.
okay.
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 I almost bet on that.
Okay. So we've got a few new faces
Yeah.
in person,
Well, old new faces.
old new faces.
I'm Chuck Worry, just been elected again, mayor of Huntington.
Yeah.
And I just met this fine gentleman.
Mandy Patton and I'm Mayor of Richland,
Oh,
Congratulations.
and I'm glad to be here. I'm new at this. I was on the council for a while,
Yeah.
and then my wife got bit by one of those mosquitoes, got West Nile. But
Oh, no.
anyway, I'm glad to be here and hoping that we can all work together.
super. Well, nice to meet you both.
Thank you. Thanks for having us here.
Okay, Greenhorn is next on the list.
This is on. I see.
Mayor Kohlermeyer.
Hello, can you hear me?
I
Yeah.
can.
Okay,
How are
good. Thank you. I had you up on the computer and for some reason it died, so now I'm on the phone method. So, thanks for the invite. I was gonna sleep in today, and then I saw that I was the agenda, so I thought I better attend. So,
Well,
there's not much new in Greenhorn right now, other than 4 feet of snow. So, I'm anxious to talk to people about this water proposal.
okay, yep, I see that listed after we have a rundown from each one of the mayors, so. Thank you for submitting that IGA.
Sure, we'll see if it gets any traction.
Okay.
Okay. Is that it? Anything else going on?
Not from my end.
Okay.
All right. Who's Haynes?
Haynes.
City of Haynes.
I don't think he's here. Halfway.
All right. Next up is Halfway.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, cool. So I don't have too much to report on. Last year was quite a bit of a doozy for us, as we all saw, but we made it through that. Aside from that, we last year worked on and navigated numerous very complicated land use applications and hearings. We fixed some issues with our city infrastructure, found some more issues that we're working on. We're in the process of receiving the OREM grant, the Office of Resiliency and Emergency Management, or the Resiliency Hubs and Networks grant. We're thankful for the opportunity to receive that. We're still waiting for some clear directions on the Recycling Modernization Act. As we all know, it's still very fluid. There's a lot to have happen yet. But we've got a direction we're headed with it. So we're excited and waiting to see how that turns out. We are in the process still of working with the school district and a private citizen on buildable land and some housing that's going to be going up. Along with that project is the installation of Fir Street, which has been a platted city street for some time, but we finally worked it out that we could get it put in place. We're working on drafting a new snow removal plan. Thankfully, it's been a mild winter so far out here. We've got one new counselor, one vacant seat, and myself and 2 other counselors were just sworn back in. Thankfully, Shane was able to attend our last meeting and officially open it for us, as we all had to get sworn in still. So yeah, that's about all we've got going on right now. We've got lots of stuff to do and just waiting to see what the year brings. And welcome to the party, Andy Patton. We're happy to have you as part of the team out here in Baker County.
How you doing?
What was that?
I said, how you doing over the hill there?
Oh, we're doing all right. How are you guys?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, much better.
Okay, yeah, anyway, so, looking forward to working with you since we're neighbors.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited to meet you in person. I was hoping to get over there for your first official meeting, but unfortunately I couldn't make it. But you're always welcome to come join us, and I'll try and make it over the hill one of these days, and we'll sit down and get to know each other.
Yeah, that'd be good. It'll be my first meeting tonight, so, best not to come because I don't know what the heck I'm doing.
I'm sure you'll do just fine. I thought you had a meeting last week.
You what?
I thought you had a meeting last week. I guess I heard wrong.
Yeah, anyway, so, yeah, I'm looking forward to, meeting you and working together.
Absolutely. It'll be fun.
Okay, Huntington.
Well, not a whole lot happening as of yet. We're working on ordinances and the enforcement thereof, which we have been lacking. And we're looking on a lot of cleanup,
Okay,
and we need to get caught up on that and get to where we can have a fresh start.
yeah,
And, I maybe lean on you for some technical help on some of that,
and that's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was mayor before. But at that time, we had the wind power going in and the
That's right.
marijuana thing going crazy, and a lot of stuff got pushed aside.
Sure.
We were scrambling.
Yeah, I know, any of us, are welcome to take calls and.
I might holler at you guys once in a
You
while.
bet. No, I like that. If we can't, call my office anytime. I'm usually
All right.
around. And if I don't know the answer, I'll dig around and find somebody that does.
Yeah, if we can find something
Yeah.
great, I appreciate it.
You bet.
I know that I was contacted by one of your citizens down there in Huntington, and he was a past mayor as well,
Yeah.
and concerned about where Life Flight is set to fly in and out of
Yes.
is your football field, and if there's another location for that. I know that I have heard about, the burned out building still being intact and some of those code enforcement. Those were the 2 major issues that I had heard from him.
It has been tough. The life flight in the summer probably came in 3 times a week. And
Wow.
because there was no ambulance transport out.
Now I understand.
It's better now.
Okay, because I understand that there is area next to where you park some of the emergency vehicles, or did park some of the emergency vehicles.
Yes.
Maybe there's gravel or something like
It was,
that.
yeah, and there's a lot of, they were going out there and the dust was a problem.
Oh, the dust was a problem.
Football field seems to work, but they put a gate up and they were locking the gate and everybody's
Okay.
fumbling around trying to find stuff. We're gonna look at that as some issues there. The downtown, which there's not much of anymore, I would like the city to acquire that property. There are a lot of liens on it.
Oh,
But I think that's the only way it's gonna get cleaned up.
uh-huh,
I think so.
okay.
The city takes control. So That'll take some time, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Sure. Also with the helipad, I was wondering if, and I could talk to you later about it, but I was wondering about the possibility of donation for the, concrete or asphalt or whatever from two major entities that could be a possibility to fund something like that if you
Yeah.
did want to move it from the field. So I will get a hold of you. I
Okay.
think that there is a path forward to move that into the area that this citizen was talking to me about.
Okay.
And maybe we can get the pad donated or something like that and get it in place at least,
That'd be great. And our local employer has been pretty good on helping us out on some stuff.
Good.
Oh, good.
So we'll go from there.
Okay.
If you need help with your ordinance, we wrote ours. And it worked really good. And, we have more work to do on it.
Sure.
And we got our pad in for the Lifeline. And it was through donations through the whole town.
Okay.
And it worked out really good.
Well, maybe come take a look at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll even make a cup of coffee.
Okay. We'll do that.
Nice. Okay. Richland.
You're up.
Oh, we are doing well. We're still working on our getting the okay on our new drinking water structure. It's been quite a long drawn out affair, but we're still working on it. We haven't got the okay from the contractor yet, and the final inspection with sometime, I think, next month. And we're still working on our ordinances, get the town cleaned up. I'm going over to City Hall when I get done here, find out more on trying to condemn a piece of property. And anyway, we have a wonderful council, we got a wonderful community, and hopefully I can help them out.
You bet.
Anyway, so it's good to be here, and if I can be of any help to anybody else, or if I need some help, I'll holler.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, we're always open for business, so let us know if we can help.
And also our engineers, if they haven't contacted you already, will be contacting you about the water line to the parks. So I know that they wanted to give you some breathing room, but we do want to finish up that engineering piece.
Right, we
here
have
shortly.
not got, we're limited on the amount of water we have. And we haven't got the usage figured out yet between the new system and new bridge in our community to go any further.
Sure. But just to give you heads up, they will be contacting you because we did put that into place and it's in the works from
Right.
last fall. And then here we are in the new mayor and all that. So we did give him your contact, and so if you need anything there or have any questions or anything, then please let me know.
That's about all I have. I've been concerned about influx from the California fires.
Mhm.
And I hope that the county does not go back on taking a big chunk of land and subdividing it.
Where,
What is
Well,
that?
what I'm afraid, I shouldn't be here, but anyway, it's gonna come up. All the fires down there, they're gonna get a lot of money. They're gonna come up here and buy a
oh, I see what you're saying.
$10 million ranch. and
Yeah.
then subdivide it. Because money always talks.
Mm.
But that's down the road, but
And there's our planning director, Holly Kearns, right there. So she would be the one to talk to
Okay, thank
make
you.
sure that.
Well,
Yeah.
and I want the mayors to go through, but I want to come out and have housing discussions with all of you mayors and councilors and start that again. So I'll talk about it a little bit here after we get through.
Okay, and thank you for signing up to be on our Parks Board.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. The Parks Board has not been in existence. It ceased to exist, so it is back. And then Mayor Wise is speaking next, and she gave us 2 people for the Parks Board up there
Yeah.
because part of our parks also include the dredge tailings up in above Phillips Lake. That's all of ours,
right.
along with several other. Well, we have Wingville Cemetery, we have Hewitt and Holcomb, the kiosk at halfway, the wayfinding kiosk at the bottom of the hill there before halfway, Bishop Springs, places like that. So we're kind of spread out throughout the county, but it's really nice, and thank you for signing up. And we do have everybody in place, and we'll be having that soon. So, yeah. Your wife.
Okay, well, of course, I have a list.
And thank you for the 2 people.
Right, and Matt Armstrong is one of those, and he will be a real asset.
Is he from your office?
Yes, but he's retired.
I thought that I recognized his name.
Yeah, he's retired, and all he's doing is some special projects. He's
Okay.
part-time, but he's working on some of the larger grants and stuff we have going.
That's super.
But he's got all kinds of ideas for that. So.
Yeah. No, I
So
appreciate
that's
it.
the first thing. If y'all want to get a hold of Sumter, leave a message.
Okay,
Or call me directly, because I mean, we're trying to rotate counselors in, just to answer phones, take payments. All the money's gone down to gasoline, so we're in a transition, and it's gonna be a while to find somebody, because we're going to get a part-time, but we're going to get somebody qualified, and not just taking one body.
Sure.
So, we had, as you guys know, we had an issue with a bus. This was quite the crisis up there in Sumter. And I do want to say, people were so upset. And, and he's here today, Deputy Sheriff Maldonado came up to one of the meetings and explained to them why the sheriff's department couldn't do more. And like they said, they didn't like his message, but they accepted it. Where, when coming from us, it's like, oh yeah, you're just, passing the buck. So him taking time to come up and really explain it really helped us. So thank you very much. It's just amazing. It just takes the whole fight out of everybody, and so let's see. We've got a lot going right now. We are finishing off our water tower. We had a little problem with the contractor. Every time we gave them an extension, they seem to take a vacation. So we're putting the screws to them a little bit, to try to get this done, because it was supposed to be done December 31st, and we missed that deadline, and we refused to give them an extension. So we're working on that. We just got awarded our wastewater grant, and we're in final design right now, so that means we'll be contracting out, and hopefully in May. And again, that's going to be that's been a project that's been on the books since 2006 when DEQ started funding this.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I'm really happy to get that thing
Good.
going. Met with Christopher Hobson.
Oh, yeah.
And had a great meeting with him. They are going to help us with flea market.
Okay,
Hopefully. There'll be some changes. There's going to be some bad people. The prices will increase a little bit, it's just, they're gonna handle all the office stuff. And
the chamber is,
yeah,
Okay.
plus they have a contact for new
Sure.
vendors. I mean, unfortunately, the flea market's getting smaller and smaller, and we need some new vendors, and we just need to change the whole format. They're talking about doing some entertainment in the pavilion up there, so just try to build it back up.
so more like Sumter Valley days. but-
Yeah, so I appreciate like I say, he's working up the numbers and stuff, so it would really be a help to Sumter to get this thing going.
Well,
That would
that's
be,
why he's
that'd be
there.
fun.
I know, I mean, it's
Yeah.
just great.
Good.
Some people aren't real happy about it, but I am, because, well, like, Matt's not there. So, and the vendor's calling already, so we have a new project, we're working on the cemetery. We've got 1 acre that we cleared with stumps, and next year That's Project Matt, our city reporter, is working on. A citizen is volunteering his time, and he's got people to volunteer equipment. And so we're actually, hopefully the goal is next summer, we'll actually have plots available. And we already have a list, of people wanting them. So it's something that, again, has been kicked down like forever, just because it's a lot of work. And I seem to not be able to quit doing stuff. We are, like everybody else, reviewing our ordinances. The 1970, 1980 ordinances, and they basically say you can't do this, period. So we are going to we're working on some enforcement. Deputy Sheriff Maldonado gave some good ideas. So now that the council's all been sworn back in, we're gonna start working on that. And we have the same council. Obviously, I'm still here.
Okay,
I'm still here, Marcia Damaris and Daryl Smith are still in.
okay,
Yeah. I was wondering.
I was- yeah, I
We
wasn't
had kind of
sure.
a nasty write-in going, so. it was-
yeah,
But actually it backfired because it ticked more people off than anything. And the last thing is, I'm now the Region 12 delegate for the League of Cities.
Oh,
Oh,
so
Because I have nothing
nice.
better to do.
right.
I think it's
In all
awesome.
your spare
I
time.
don't know how to say no.
That's a neat position though.
So, well, I'm kind of excited about it because I'm gonna go to Salem on the 27th for the meeting, and then I go to the city days where you go and meet all your legislators. Put little messages in their ears when we
Mhm.
meet.
And there's
So-
new people there too, so.
Right, so I've never been, so I'm kind of excited about that. And then this weekend's Vintage Snowmobile Racing.
Oh, good. I was
Center.
wondering if that was on.
It's on.
Okay,
Yeah, that's all I have.
thank you.
Mhm.
Such fun stuff going on up there.
Fun stuff.
So much.
what day is it? Is
It's
it?
Saturday and Sunday,
Okay, both days. I'm gonna try to get up there.
and everything's all plowed out, so you can actually get up in there into the parking lot.
Well, I can get up at any time. Some days are more work than
Yes.
others.
Well, when we had that slushy snow, where it snowed and didn't freeze, I mean, you couldn't get up the streets.
I was a little concerned at the cabin. I thought I was
Yeah.
gonna
It was too
make it down
slushy.
the road and not back
It
up.
was too slushy to plow it too much, so
Right.
people were getting stuck,
Right.
you know.
Part of Noodle's message, when
Yeah.
it's not freezing and,
Mhm.
and snowing and get that good base like we have, we've got a mess on our roads.
And it just rips them up if they
Yep.
try to go deep.
Sure does. Thank you. I don't see Mayor Hooper.
Angus, are you with us today?
Halfway, Ashley. So, darn it, we'll catch him next time.
All right, well, we'll check back in with Unity and then I guess turn it over to the commissioners and just, oh, you wanted Dennis, you wanted a discussion, correct?
No, it's after,
It's
it's after your, next is Baker County Commissioner, so
Okay,
go
we
ahead.
can. All I've got is, my same old thing. I want to go around and meet, all the new counselors and mayors, and I want to I'll let you guys get your feet underneath you, but next month I want to start coming to city council and present where we're at on housing. I've asked that the last 2 years on each of the towns that somebody is attached to me to talk about housing, and it's what you want and what you don't want as well. I don't want to, have somebody come in with a big idea that the town doesn't want, but if the town does want or need something, we'll try to find answers for that. The last 2 years, the governor's message is housing, housing, housing. It's been rolled out differently than I expected. I thought that there was going to be programs that smaller communities could just ask for money or put a project in. So far, it's all been legislative passed, one-off kind of projects. So I've only got 2 years left of my term. I want to try to get some action in the next 2 years on what we put together, because like I said, it took a couple of years to kind of figure out how the rollouts were looking at. But whether it's one big legislative ask for multiple projects or several legislative asks for multiple projects, we can do that. And then again, if there's, a fair of something coming in that doesn't fit the values of your town, let's talk about that too. And last year, the fires threw me completely off kilter, but I want to come, and maybe it's the same day as city council meeting, but if it's all right, I'd like to come out and sit at your city hall of, for my work day and have people can come and hit me up while I'm out there, and I'll contact, I'll set it up with your people and get, social media so people know I'm there. Maybe I'll get a sign and carry it around with me, the commissioners in. But I'd like to do that so people have access. They don't have to travel or call. They can come in my ear on whatever they want. So hasn't changed. My spiel hasn't changed in 2 years. I'm going to get it. I enjoy it. People have been pretty good to me. But, and it's a good way to get out and meet people out halfway in Richland area. There's young new families out there that I don't know. And I just kind of get siloed in Baker City. I grew up here. My dad worked on tractors when I was a kid, and we used to travel around to, if anybody had a John Deere that was older than 1970, we would come out and work on it. And since those days, I've kind of lost track, and it's good to connect with the families and people again. So if it's all right with you guys, I'd like to try to make the rounds, barring any catastrophe. If I could get 1 year with no upset, I'd like to be able to get some stuff done. So I'll turn it over to you guys.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
So, I think it was Mayor Aspie was talking, there's a lot of feedback.
There is a lot of.
Is it? Okay. Anyway, they were talking about recycling. I am working with Circular Action, with Baker Sanitary and LaRue Sanitation. We have a meeting on the 21st, on that whole Recycling Modernization Act, going to bring us all up to speed. And so I have a meeting with them on the 21st. So, and then, that's what I've got when we were talking about recycling.
So that reminds me, I've got an email I've got Heidi send over to you, and I'll send it out to Mayor Aspie on paint recycling.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
thank
So anyway,
you.
so we're learning all about what I've done some of the initial training, but again, there's more to it. So anyway,
I really appreciate you taking all of that on. It's a new thing, and
Well, Bruce was
yeah,
doing it before.
Yeah.
He's been on it for over a year.
yeah. And so anyway,
close
so
to
this
2
is
years,
just,
actually.
it's a little more,
Yeah.
it's getting a little closer. And
Yeah.
so there's a lot more coming out.
Yep.
So
yeah.
I will keep everybody informed from that.
Okay. Wanted to let you all know that through the legislative season right now, there are bills coming up, and I am tuning in as best as I can, and I will be tuning in for sure to all Association of Oregon Counties legislative days so that I know what they're looking at and what they're going to be legislating for. There's and if you see a House bill or Senate bill or anything like that that comes through that you want a little more leverage from our county, then let us know so that we can speak to Salem and we can speak to each one of these when the appropriate time comes up for each one of the bills. There's a couple just to note: HB 3209 Abandoned RV Fund. That is, and I just discussed that with the department heads, but that you probably in each one of your communities have maybe an abandoned RV here and there. It was taken back to the steering committee to revise and maybe change up a little bit. They want a registration fee for all RV users, an additional $25 to go towards a fund for removing these abandoned RVs. Little bit heavy, but we're trying something, maybe put an amendment in there that those fees that are generated within the county would stay in the county for the cleanup within the county of the RVs. We'll see where that goes, but that is one that I will be watching. Also, recreational immunity. Now that came up last year, where that was I don't know if you're all familiar with it, but a lady on the coast had fallen, and it was on a trail, and then she said that the county is liable because she fell and injured herself. And normally we would have a recreational immunity on any of those lands that we deem recreational for people to use and all of that. We had to sign our parks, I know, for a while. And then the short legislative session last year put in place a temporary recreational immunity. So protecting all of us. This is going forward, and it is HB 2295. Now, Association of Oregon Counties did not bring that up. So I will be bringing that up with them in the future to see if we can push for that so that it's set, so it's codified, and we won't hopefully have to go back and be threatened by anybody injuring themselves on our public lands. So that's one. And then there's also one and it's in the Natural Resources Steering Committee, but it's ADU construction and cleanup. And ADU is the accessory dwelling units that you're probably talking about when you're looking at your ordinances. And I don't know everything about these. Like I said, Monday, I spent all day listening in on all of these, and I haven't had a chance to read through all of them in detail. But that's SB 75, that's Senate Bill 75, ADU construction cleanup. They also have SB 79, prohibition of dwellings. And then there's also a redesignation of resource lands. It's SB 73, which is an interesting one to read. I won't go into it right now. There is 2 bills for wolf depredation, which halfway Richland area. Keating really is our hot spot there, but there's a couple bills on that, and that's HB 2369 and SB 777. So if there's any others that come up, please contact us and let us know so that we can be a voice for you guys going forward.
Did you send out that, the list, the link to all the mayors
On what the AOC approved yesterday?
No, there was the one what's in the legislative now, what's being proposed.
Right, so if you go on Legiscan, you can go,
Is that
anybody
where it
can
is?
go
Okay.
on Legiscan, LEGISCAN, and it's really easy to navigate through and read all of those bills and see the current status of where they're at in the House. So
There's probably over 2,500 bills
there's a
dropped
lot.
right now. For the cities, if you go on League of Oregon Cities, I believe they do have a list. Right.
Yeah.
So kind of
there's-
pay attention to what they've got brought up, and you can go to the League of Oregon City or Association of Oregon Counties and look at their webpage and see what they're following too. Because out of all of them, they pick out the ones that are going to affect cities and counties. So.
And talk to your LOC
Yeah.
leaders and make them
Yeah.
push for whatever you want as well. If they hear from more than just the county and it's League of Oregon Cities or whatever other agencies that you're working with or.
Like they're having a
Our
small
entities.
cities Zoom meeting tomorrow,
Mhm.
and they usually they talk about some of the stuff that's
You
going on
bet.
in those meetings, so this is a Zoom one, I mean, it's
Mhm.
important to be involved.
Yeah.
If something's coming up that's just totally gonna foul you guys up, let us know about it too, for sure.
Will do.
Could I add that on for LOC for the newer mayors, they have 15 hours of free legal advice they will give on certain matters. If you haven't been signed up for that, you
Good.
need to sign up for that.
That's good to know. Uh-oh, did we put Mayor Kohlemeyer to sleep? No. He's just stretching his neck. Okay, I think it's Mayor Kohlemeyer's turn.
Yeah,
Did all of you receive the draft IGA from Mayor Kohlemeyer? I have a copy
I
here.
have
that-
it, no, I
Oh, you
right
have it
there.
here. Okay, and then you can see it. Do you, and then in your second page there is the, and I realize that our new mayors probably haven't had a chance to read through.
Do you need it again?
No, I have my
Okay.
first copy
Okay.
from when Mayor Kohlemeyer sent it back in December, I think. So go ahead, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you. Can you hear me again?
Yes.
Yeah, it's sounding good right now.
Okay. Okay. Well, fellow mayors and board of county commissioners, as I sent this in as kind of a place to start a conversation. To help me organize my thoughts, I kind of organized it in who would do what and what we'd hope this thing would accomplish. So, hopefully by the end of this conversation, we can find out, is there any interest in this, both from the county's perspective and that there's some budget hit and some staffing time that would be necessary for the county to help this move forward, and then also for the various cities, there'd be a commitment mostly of time to help get this thing off the ground. So let me just give you the high points of what my thoughts were. One, I organized, I thought, the small cities of the county. The big cities have different needs, different avenues. And I think it'd be pretty easy for the small cities to get lost if we tried to merge in with the big city. So that's the reason for small cities. The concept would be that we would band together under an intergovernmental agreement. The county would act as an administrator for that agreement, and what we would be committing to in that agreement would be forwarding and turning over our water master plans or interviews with staff or elected officials in each city to try to come up with the top 2 or 3 issues, water issues in each community, put them together, have some professional help, organize them, put current costs together, that kind of thing. And then also have that professional help include the services of a professional grant writer. All of you have probably tried to touch pen to a grant application here lately. They're getting much more sophisticated. They're becoming much more dependent on social economic issues than the technical engineering issues. So I think if we banded the cities together, we could probably have a good representative of the things that these grant evaluators seem to be looking for. For the county's commitment, my thought was that, well, if they could administer it, so it would take some staff time. And the initial startup budget, while small, is the budget hit. And I think I used the number $5,000 in my write-up. I don't know if that's the right number, but it's a place to start. The thinking being that the county could help by using their staff or commitment of staff to organizing and writing the IGA, getting us signed up, and then preparing a request for proposals that could go out and try to find that engineering grant writing team that could come in, do the work, organize it, put a grant together, and fund it through that aspect. Once the grant, if we are lucky enough to get a grant, and I think we would be, the future costs for staff can be loaded into the grant application. So I think that would bring an end to budget hits for the county, but we probably would still need a little staff time to help manage it. To help the county staffer figure out what's important, who goes first, that kind of thing, I was thinking that either us as a group of mayors or someone we would appoint could kind of set as an oversight group to review the work that's being done, offer advice, and if it came to the point we had to pick and choose which way to go, we would offer that instead of the Board of County Commissioners. So that's my thought. Again, I'm open for any comments. If people don't want to do this, that's okay too, I guess. I think it's a good proposal. for a little bit of money, I think we can leverage our small city status to access some of these grant applications. The timing is good in that it's not very far from budget season for the county. And so if they need to allocate staff or a budget number, this would be the time to kind of get our arms around that, so they could know we're interested. And with that, I'll turn it over. And maybe I could start with asking the county commissioners, is this something that you would be willing to do to help the small cities? If the small cities all signed up and got on board with such a concept.
So thank you for that. For me, I see, we have, our administrative staff is stretched to the max, right now. That, the administrative staffing ask, from my point of view, is a big ask, because we are stretched so short in that. I look at it, as if you could form a city coalition, Baker County cities, and come together, get a grant specialist to help you out, anything like that would be probably to your advantage at this point, just based off of our administrative shortfall right now. That's my take. I think that if the mayors and the cities got together, did their own and formed that group, and then that grant writer, I think that you could be successful.
I think we could help facilitate the meetings and that kind of a thing for you guys. We are trying to hire on more staff, but once we do, we still have to onboard that person. So we're going to be kind of dragging behind a little bit, but anything that we can help on, I want to give it a try, and you can always reach out to me as well. But we are pretty short on staff right now, but I think it's a good concept and I want to support it for sure.
So I'm wondering if we can be listed as a partner,
Yeah.
just not a financial, the to-do person, I don't
Yeah,
know how that works.
yeah, I don't want to put that on our admin.
Because I look at how much money or how much time other grants
That's-
take.
That's why we're looking for a grant specialist
Yeah.
right now, just
Yeah.
for
And
the
we
county
have- and we're not
departments.
anywhere close on that, right?
I don't know.
So I love the idea.
I
But I
love the
think-
idea.
I think that, I think you're right, if they can do the coalition and then they would deal directly with the grant writer. And if we can facilitate any of that, I think we can, just not pay the bills and watch the, go ahead.
Dennis, I'm Andy Patton, new mayor of Richland.
Okay.
Okay, we have a council meeting tonight and I'll discuss that with the council, but I'd like to get a hold of you maybe tomorrow or some, in the very near future on the phone, or come see you.
Sure. More than happy to.
Okay,
Um,
Dennis.
Before we sign off, I'll put my number up, or share my number. People can call me. So,
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis.
Okay.
Okay, Dennis, this is Linda from Sumter. On this, I'd have to take this to council and look at it a little closer, maybe talk to you, because in 2021, Sumter put out bids for an engineer and a grant writer, and they were voted in as they are the city's go-to engineer and grant writer. We pay the grant writer a little bit every month, but mainly by the grants. That's why we have all these grants. So I don't know that the city would want to lose the access to our engineer and the current grant writer we have, because they've done such a good job for us. So that's something we'd have to talk about a little more. We've got something already in place.
I'm wondering if that grant writer person could help.
Oh, sure. I'm already sharing with John Day.
I'm just
No,
thinking, that,
No, he's out of the grant, it's Dakota Consulting.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, he's doing,
I mean, it's just something
he's
that,
doing major grants everywhere, so.
Right.
But he's already-
got staff, yeah.
he's already doing things for
But yeah,
small
so
cities and
we've
things like
already
that,
got
so.
A whole process in,
Yeah, and this would be a separate kind
Yeah.
of project.
It's a really good
yeah,
idea.
so so we just have to talk a little more on that.
And we've had it
because
out there.
We've got a good system.
Yeah. So it's
Do
just-
any other mayors want to chime in?
This is Mayor Aspey from Halfway. I was just mulling this over, thinking about it this morning, and I think maybe a good first step in starting something like this would be to have maybe a committee formed between the cities to basically assess and list what the current problems are in each city. And then that'll give kind of a really good building block potentially of more what this could look like in a coalition sort of situation. Is that a reasonable first step for the mayors that are present to at least get a list together of what the current infrastructure problems are in your cities?
Well, yeah, this is Dennis. Yeah, that would be fine with me. Maybe we can get Heidi to set us up a email group of just the mayors, or however she could organize it, so we could communicate maybe offline and develop such a list, develop this thing, ask each other questions back and forth. I do have one question back at the Board of Commissioners. I heard you loud and clear about staffing. I understand that, but I didn't hear any answers about whether you could contribute a starting fund if necessary.
They'd have to go through the budget.
You could, we would have to go through the budget process, but if you got everybody together in time and had an idea of what the ask would be, you could ask, you could come and do a budget ask.
Could certainly submit.
You bet.
Okay, well, I appreciate that, and I'll
Yeah.
turn it back over to any other mayors that have any ideas or concepts. So.
This is Mayor Aspey again. If you haven't signed on with the Oregon Mayors Association, it's a really, really good resource. In regards to email communications through the Oregon Mayors Association, they do have a email thread to connect all of the mayors that are signed on with it. And I think if you have any larger questions about kind of what this situation could look like if it's been modeled in different counties, I would start with the Oregon Mayors Association. It's specifically for each of us to ask questions of each other. There was recently a communication thread up about compensation, and there's some really good information on all of those things where we can just connect as community leaders and see what's worked for other places, what hasn't worked.
Okay. Well, thank you for that, and I will jump on board with that. And if necessary, I can pick out the mayor email names and numbers and get a thread started.
That sounds good.
And you should have all of the current emails in the emails for this meeting.
Yeah.
So
Okay, and one thing back for the other mayors, it might be that somebody has someone on board who has a little bit of staff capacity that could basically act as a home address for this thing. So I appreciate now it's kind of a floating concept in the air, but sooner or later, if we do move ahead with it, we'll be preparing some documents and things like that. And it's nice to have a home base and somebody with a little bit of experience besides me. So when I reach out to you, if you could let me know if that sounds like something you could contribute to the cause, that'd be great. Thank you.
super. Thank you, Mayor.
Well, that's all I've got. I take that as a cautious yes. that we might be able to turn this into something.
I think
appreciate-
that's fair to say, yes.
appreciate the county's frankness in that what they can and can't do or could potentially do. It's nice to know that on the front end. So with that, I will do a little more work on my end and get back with us.
Yeah, I think between the mayors, maybe you can move forward, so.
Okay.
Yep, let us know.
Okay, well, thank you for the time.
All
Thank you,
right.
Mayor.
Thank you.
You.
Okay.
Before I forget, if you pass this around and write your phone number down, once again, I used to have an assistant that put those together for me every year, and I don't know. So we'll just pass the list around.
And I will contact Cody and see if they want to take on any more.
Sure.
That'd be great.
Yeah. It sounds like they're kind of, checked in to that kind of work, so.
Yeah. Okay, well, we have a work session starting at 10. And this is
The 1-to-1.
Yeah.
2 minutes still.
We're having meetings about meetings.
So thank you for coming. here in
Yeah, I really
person.
appreciate
Thank
you
for
guys
being
coming in and
online.
being here in person. It's a lot more fun that way.
We try to make the rounds, and
Yeah,
get started again.
well, and we will too. It's.
Yeah.
we can-
It's busy time.
Hey, boy, I know it.
Maybe.
With stuff I didn't want to have to be
Are you
dealing
reading
with,
this?
I don't want to get back to
Are the
the
mayor's
fun
meetings due
stuff.
quarterly? Is that-
Okay.
So are you guys aware of the Forest Service open house they're having on the 22nd?
22nd. I just saw that. And it's out
Carrie
at
Ann,
the-
what is that about?
It's just the new district ranger, Jeremy,
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's having an open house.
That's
right.
And a couple others, just to kind of.
And it's out on the 11th, out at 11th Street.
He wasn't
Yes,
aware of the
I am aware of
conflicts
that.
we've been having, like in our area.
Yeah.
So he just wants to.
Thank you. I do have that.
Because he came to Sumter and spent some time with us.
We've, Mayor, I've been meeting with him, the last couple of months, and this is something that,
Get my
yes,
kid in,
that
it'll be a
we
holler.
asked that we get everybody together, and also we have a new deputy supervisor, so also for you to meet her and everything is good.
Yeah, unfortunately,
My
I'm
wife will
gone.
ride with me on that road.
Okay.
But yeah, he
Refuses.
didn't realize about how
So
that.
it's a good
went.
time. Oh, It's good to meet you. We will be.
Which man?
The closure now.
Oh.
So,
Closure.
When we had this meeting,
otherwise,
they wanted to
downtown
close certain
Huntington
parts
is
of the trails and
Not
stuff.
much of the storage there. It operates, actually does pretty well.
What was it called? It was.
Not the Blue Mountain Forest Plan.
Closed.
Yeah, there was something else. They wanted to close a bunch of the trails.
The travel management plan?
Yeah, and taking it to-
The travel management plan is
Just took-
gone.
It's
Yeah,
tough.
well,
They rescinded that a couple weeks ago.
Proximity to Ontario,
He
that
didn't
hurts
realize
us.
how bad everybody was.
Because everybody goes to Ontario every day. so.
Yeah.
This is
Okay.
over there.
Thank you.
I'm gonna run it.
Go, go,
Because I'm
go.
thinking this could be.
Go, go, go.
I'm trying to make like a fancy corporate press.
Yeah, yeah, I understand.
But the cook and her husband, the cook used to be there and her husband bought it. And he got to reopen it up and stuff.
did I get my,
It's a tough business.
did
Yeah.
I get my list back?
If you don't run it all yourself, you can't make it.
Yeah.
Unless you're wealthy, which I haven't ventured into that yet. Oh, all right. Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Nice to meet you. Donnie's told me a lot of nice things.
Oh, my God. it's
Well,
almost-
now you gotta live up to that. You can never be mean then.
No. Well, the park is important to us because it brings in money to our business, our
Sure
small
does.
business in town.
Sure does.
But I still don't know about the water. Yeah.
All we can do is keep on
Because I'm
trying.
not gonna shut our people off
Right.
in order for somebody to come in out of town.
No, and we're not asking.
Yeah.
We're not asking.
But we'll work on it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so much water going down that pipe.
No, I do. I don't just. But yeah, we'll work together on it.
yeah, and I'm looking forward to it. I really, my personal opinion, I really want to fix it.
Well, sure, yeah.
It benefits the whole town
Yeah.
in a while. They go out and go fishing, they come in, I don't want to cook dinner. They
Right.
come down. Oh, I ran out of, adult beverages.
Fuel,
Or-
restaurants, staying in the motel, staying in the RV, yeah.
Right.
When I've been out,
I had a panic
you know,
attack.
this before the
I'm just
fire.
learning that's what it is.
Can't say that.
It wasn't as thick as the other, so
You need it.
anyway. So when I take notes like this, I'm just making a note, I'm gonna have a file of just this mayor's meeting. Having a public file upstairs.
Okay.
Okay.
It says there.
Nothing
Thank you for
on
that.
side of it, it was just my notes too.
Anyway.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah, so I think it's mine that's causing
Be in
the.
touch.
Thank you for
I'll be reaching out as well.
the list.
Thank you very much.
She just sent us the mayor's contact list.
Oh, nice.
Oh, good.
Nice.
Very good.
We still have staff that does that.
Give me my pen back. That's right. When's the rollerball? All right, we're running about 5 minutes behind on all the meetings, so we're consistent. So we're gonna, I guess we'll close the mayor's meeting officially and go into a work session of Baker County Board of Commissioners. First up for discussion again is defining the duties of commissioners and creating the position of interim county executive administrator.
Did you have anything new on that, Commissioner Casey? Just sorry.
That's crazy. I'd like to make sure that, so I asked Heidi to include the county commissioner job description, or position description, if you will, and also the management assistant that is open right now.
Yeah.
And I'd kind of like to go over those first.
Yes.
I don't know if that's okay. I know
That's
how this all
perfect.
works, so.
We can move it around if you
Okay.
want.
That's perfect.
So it sounds to me like we just have one job description for county commissioner. We don't have one that details chair responsibilities. Is that correct?
Correct.
Not really, no.
The chair has the admin and duties.
And so we don't have anything in there that says that.
I could sit down with Heidi and build one.
It would be an order. Maybe add on that the chair has the admin duties that should be performed.
It wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing to go through and list out everything.
Just so that when people are
Well-
electing the chair, that they know that they're electing an administrator
Right.
for the county.
Right,
And maybe people don't realize that they're electing the chair for the administrator, and maybe they're not looking for those qualifications when choosing the chair.
And it'd show what people are getting into when they run. I mean,
Exactly.
I was on city council for 2 years and we had worked back and forth on the ambulance issue and a couple other things. And I've been around like here for, well, my whole life, so I knew. But just to put your name in the hat, it's, there's a lot of things that come up that you don't expect.
And right now, the administrative duties and the administration, like I stated in the last, are stretched and some things are not getting done.
That's-
So that's why I brought this forward,
And that's
to
true.
change
Yeah.
the way that the chairs are seated and to add a full-time administrator so that we wouldn't have that coming and going every 4 years. To put somebody in place for 4 years, to run a $50 million business that is the county is a big ask. It's a big ask that we know that other counties have switched to administrators for that very reason, so that the administration duties of the county are performed on a regular basis, no matter who's coming and going of the commission chairs or seats.
If you look through either, well, both job descriptions for executive assistant or, not the right one, or the, management assistant. Some of the duties overlap, and right now our shortfall, the court work, that's the minutes and the filing of all the orders and everything that we do is far behind. I'm here, the administrative duties are getting done, but my backup is not, like prepare correspondence, reports, orders, resolutions, notices, press releases, and other materials of an important or confidential nature that will require researching information, maintain records regarding appointments, interpret county policy and procedure to department heads, public officials, media employees, and the public. That's where our shortfall is coming, and Heidi has been doing a fantastic job of trying to do 3 jobs. She's like Wonder Woman, but we can't continue on just.
We shouldn't have so far
No.
with her.
No.
It's
Well,
overwhelming.
Well, and we couldn't hire anybody until until the person that we had. If somebody's out on leave, you're just, you've got to try to fill that gap somehow legally, but you can't just say, I mean, you just get your pants sued off if you fired someone for being on medical leave or maternity leave or anything, especially in the state of Oregon, so.
Well, bottom line, the administrative duties are not getting done. So, and to up that executive assistant, Aaron's, that front office there is not going to solve all of those issues. You can go ahead and increase the duties of that position. We need that person in place. You can increase the duties. You're going to be increasing the costs, which was a point of contention at the last meeting. If you add on admin duties, more duties onto that chair, that desk up there, then you're gonna be paying more.
Sure.
And you're probably gonna be paying $50,000 more, which is
No,
where
no, it wouldn't be that much. It comes up to about 10 or
to
15.
properly do the job, okay, it could be less, but that's where the changing of the commission seats would at least cover, if we were all equal, taking that 50,000 from the chair seat, would put it into another position, whether it's an administrative position, an administrator, or upping that front desk to handle all of those things that we are lacking right now.
But that, like I said, that position's already budgeted in. So right now, a management assistant starts at, well, 44,592 at the very first step. Ends up at 59,748 at step 7. An executive assistant, that's what we're talking about. The low end on that's only $54,000, 54,204. Step 7, the highest step on that is 72,624.
Yes, I see that, but you're talking about combining. It's not just the executive assistant and it's not just the management assistant. You're talking about combining that, which would theoretically raise that price for that one person.
About $15,000.
That's benefits.
Hmm.
So I
Or
have
more.
a question. So are we talking, so doing away with the management assistant
Yeah.
position and then just hiring an executive assistant? Is that what the thought process is?
That's what I would like.
But
to do,
only
yeah.
with, all of the bigger duties, more duties.
Oh, and like I
So-
said, there's a
Than
lot
what
of,
either one of them is stated. It
Well,
would be
there's-
more duties into that front office there,
there's a lot of
which still isn't going to.
there's a
um,
lot of crossover.
It still isn't going to cure all of the shortfalls in the admin, in the administrative position.
So this one in the executive assistant one we talked about, number 9 says assistant grant preparation monitoring. Is this in addition to the grant writer
I think
position
that-
that we have put out there?
I think that would be taken off. if we had somebody.
No, there are certain grants that still have to go through that office, like the Wolf grants, the CIG and the state grants for the Wolf are still going through that. It's a possibility that they could move out of there. I don't know how many other grants have to go through there, but this is kind of, it would be the grant specialist that would be a contractor, not a hired employee, number one, and could be in addition to relieve some of those, but we need to get that person.
And they would basically be only monitoring, managing those grants that they received, that they wrote, correct?
Whatever is needed.
In their,
Each department or whatever grants
So,
are needed.
so far that,
Right now, it's just
that
the
duty
transit.
hasn't been writing of a grant. It's mostly like, when is it coming due and that kind of thing. Can you, Heidi, can you speak to that part of it?
Yeah, so, in the past, currently there's, like Commissioner Witham said, just some of the smaller grants, but
Yeah.
there's been some times where we've had CDBG grants come through, and that was something that position took care of, like the Eagle Valley Fire Station
Oh, that's right.
and the New Directions Northwest rehab building. That one was quite a while ago, but there's some of those grants that have come through that position handled. So it just depends on what comes up and what the commissioners agree to do.
So that can be adjusted.
so this is my initial thought. And kind of it's based on budget and timing, if you will. About moving the management assistant from move it up in the salary range. So instead of an 8, maybe, do it to a 12. You do a medium and you add some of these duties in, but you still leave some of those duties. That relieves the chair from doing some of the day-to-day stuff. And also then relieves some from county admin. If we can hire a little bit more qualified management assistant, if you will, without going fully to the executive assistant position. I'm just not sure that this is the right time to add a full executive assistant.
We've always had a full executive.
Executive assistant has been that
Well,
office.
but that was management assistant.
No,
No, that was
no, that was
executive.
management assistant. It was Aaron's position. Executive assistant is Heidi.
So it was a 12. It was a 12 when you were in that position,
Well,
close to,
pre
equivalent to.
the comp study, it was
Right.
actually a 15. So I don't know where that translates to on a new wage table, but
So technically, we've had an executive assistant in the past,
We
and
still
a
have-
chair, and a chair.
Yeah.
So going back
so
to that,
Michelle,
I'm confused.
I'm currently serving as the executive assistant also.
Okay, and
so
and
when
HR.
we hired that position, it was just getting to be too much, so we hired someone to help in there. It used to just be that executive assistant and HR. And then in 2010, I did both. And so I've been doing both jobs since 2010, and then it just got to be a lot. And so we hired somebody in, when was that, 22 or 23,
It was
I think.
right at 22. Aaron was on and then we were elected right after.
So we filled that position. They were there for about a year and then out on leave for a while. And so what he's saying is I would no longer be part of the commissioner's office. I would no longer be executive assistant. It would just be whoever's hired into that position.
So did the management assistant help with the duties for that year that she was here, when she was here full time? Did that position alleviate some of the issues that we're seeing now?
Well, they took some of the burden off of me from
Sure.
doing, like meeting prep and whatnot. but it was still a lot. I mean, I was still spending a lot of time, and currently, I mean,
So the county, when they made that change, they hired this person. And so in between that, we kind of saved money, if you will, because we have an HR person, an executive assistant, which is one, instead of having a separate HR and a separate executive assistant.
yeah, you haven't had to pay for 2 people. I've been doing both jobs.
which is a lot for her.
Yeah.
HR is a job within itself, right now.
And right now, there's some investigative work and other stuff that's behind in HR. And it's not Heidi's fault.
No, she's been stepping up
No,
and
I don't-
helping
yeah, I
us.
don't ever
No,
wanna-
I
yeah.
don't mean that at all.
Yeah,
No,
I don't want
don't-
any,
No.
no, none of us, we like Heidi. But, yeah.
No,
we
I'm
don't-
just trying to get a history here of
Yeah.
what we had and what worked, what didn't work, and not saying that things aren't, I mean, we just got some holes, it
Mhm.
sounds to me like.
Yeah.
And,
That's why I took a look at a full-time administrative person.
But that, an administrative person wouldn't necessarily still do this work.
They would necessarily do a lot. That is not being done right now.
so I think before I want to make a decision, I want to know the admin duties that the chair is doing. And I don't have
Yeah, there's
I don't
nothing
have,
on
because
there.
I'm new, because I don't have that list.
Yeah, it's not on there. It's
So
not written.
that's, so I don't know that I can make a decision right now.
Well, we can't make a
Without-
decision.
I'm just saying, even,
Well, we
What do
could. By order, we actually can, but we won't
Not in this
today.
meeting.
Yes, we could at
Well-
any time, but we won't today. We'll keep working through this.
so if we could, if you could get with Heidi sometime and then add what those admin duties are and maybe a time frame of how much time it takes you to do these admin duties. And then we can figure out what also is not getting done in the
Yes,
regular commissioner, like you were talking about, you want to go out to the cities, you want to do all
Right.
that, but you feel that you're tied to this office.
I have been.
Okay, so if there's a way that we can do what the duties are, how much time it takes, and then figure out, I think that's the next step.
and what duties aren't being done, that is specifically,
Yeah, so let's put down what the duties are and then figure out.
if they're being done or not.
Yeah, and nothing
specifically.
against you, Shane, but just because there's so much, and I was talking, I don't remember now who was talking, but basically the county admin is a full-time job. The county
Yes.
commissioner
Mhm.
job is this amount. So this position becomes 1.5, if you will, if everything gets done. So that's not fair. And so I'm thinking that if we can just have what those duties are, I would feel better about more of a discussion.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that. I would really love to see that list.
So does that make sense, Heidi?
I was gonna ask, did anybody want to speak to that since they're here? We didn't notice one way or another whether we're taking public testimony, so I'm okay.
I'm okay.
If you want to talk, come on up. It should be.
Thank you. I appreciate the time. May not be, it's all right. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you for today. I can give you some history.
Okay,
Going back several years, Heidi was the executive assistant.
Right.
Only, but her HR roles were pretty small in the beginning, but they exploded
exactly.
with changeovers that we had, changing positions and changing all of the things that were going on with legal and with union negotiations and
Yeah.
such.
Yep.
So it did take her time away from what she was trying to do in front. You need a full-time position in
I agree.
front here, period. There's no question about it. And if she has extra time, which she won't.
Nope.
Because there's an enormous amount of work in that role. And that's why we had Heidi originally taking care of most of it. She did phenomenal, but she wore too many hats to begin with. So it did become a great deal of help that she needed to have. In my role that I stepped in, I did help with some of the grants, the one in particular in Richland, the fire station. But Heidi handled most of those, and then Donnie was handling the senior citizens grant there as far as the paperwork portion of that. But there was a lot of help that we relied on Heidi again.
Yeah.
But the role in the office, the chairman's assistant, executive assistant, it's an enormous role already. But you're asking if he's just doing certain things. We did a list when this topic came up before as to what our roles were, and you're going to be discussing that today. You're going to hopefully rely on your expertise where you would fit well to serve the commission as a whole. And we did that as well. Because of the timeframes that each commissioner at that time, Tim Kearns, was quarter time. Again, I brought this up before. It served his purpose as well, and he took care of the ag industry and some of those issues. Mark Bennett, with his background, was emergency management and law enforcement. So he took on more committees and meetings and what have you in departments. We did divide up the departments that we would oversee, not run. We relied greatly on the people who were running those departments.
Yeah.
So can so that was distributed among the three of you at the time?
That's what
then?
we will be doing next is the distribution.
No, I meant like for the different,
Yes.
okay, so like department heads too as well?
Yeah, oversee,
Overseeing, yeah, exactly, not,
just oversee.
exactly.
Not doing their.
No, but just, okay. So you would have a person that they would report to rather than just the chair.
Well, they would communicate to that person.
Okay.
And then that person would come in
Okay.
work sessions or what have you, or in regular sessions and discuss an issue, especially if it costs the county money.
Mhm.
If a department head needs to talk to a commissioner, they can talk to all three of you.
Sure.
Yes,
It's
they
not an
can.
issue. But if there's a decision made on, I've got a project I need funding for, they can go to one of you, discuss it in detail,
Mhm.
then present it in commission meeting
You bet,
before it's
yeah.
brought to a vote.
Right.
It's the only way that it can happen.
Yeah.
But I, in my role, did not oversee every department there was. Many of them I did. Gratefully, enjoyed that. But we did divide up all the committees, the boards,
Mhm.
and the functions that we do. You will have a great deal.
Yeah.
Christina already does. Yeah. And we had a list of all those committees that we were on, appointed to, elected to, what have you. And at first, Commissioner Nichols, he was full-time accountant still. So he didn't have a lot of time, so we didn't burden him down with a full load. But he only had about 4 to 5 committees at the time, which is fine. And he did well and communicated back with us. Mr. Bennett, in his term, covered up to over 15 of them. Because of my role and my, what Christina does a lot of now, the Forest Service, BLM issues and stuff like that, I had 45 that I was doing as well as admin.
Mhm.
But in admin, I helped them. I didn't do it for them
Right.
because they were far better at it than I was.
Absolutely.
I became their cheerleader because they needed some help there and support. But you, in your role, buck stops with you. That
Right.
was said many, many years ago, and it's true. Okay, but you got to help them or allow them to do their job.
Mhm.
Okay, you're not going to be totally qualified to do all these jobs.
Oh, no.
But when something about administration, we're going to come to you.
Yeah.
And we're going to say, we need to understand better about this, and you'll get the information
Right,
for us
right.
as a voter. But we didn't do their jobs. We didn't oversee them. We didn't micromanage them. We didn't daily run their routines. We helped support their activities. But there's an enormous amount of role in that position that's not on paper.
It's,
Never was on paper.
that's true. Yeah.
My predecessors before me had their own, depending on their expertise, where they focused more of their time. With me, it was the natural resources. That's a lot of work right there by
Mhm.
itself. So what you're gonna do today is try to divide up some workload.
Right.
You're not gonna cover it all. You'll have some overlap and you'll have some new ones pop up, some will drop out. I think in some cases, some of these things demand far more time than you should be giving to these outside committees. And some of them required, asked for 2 commissioners. I don't think that should ever happen again.
Yeah.
You guys are booked up solid, should only be 1 commissioner represented, and tell them up front, no, we're not doing that. But your duties aren't always spelled out in paper. It's just kind of what it morphs into. Sometimes what Christine is doing now may overlap somewhere else, and she'll have to cover that as well, and you will as well. But as far as today, right now, in this discussion, you gotta have someone in that chair outside in the front office all day long, every day. And she or he will have plenty of work to do. Never be a shortfall on that. To free up Heidi to do her HR, which is still enormous.
Mhm.
Sadly, we
Yeah.
never planned on that. Hopefully that helped answer. the
It
question.
does, and yes, I appreciate that. And yeah, I'm looking at these committees going, hey boy,
Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
I appreciate that, Bill.
Yeah, come on up.
Okay, thank My name's Burke O'Brien. I was a public works director for Morrow County for 20 years.
Okay,
I fully appreciate where you guys are at. Your workload is incredible and you're trying to cover everything. In the county I was employed by, I think I saw that go a little bit wrong when they when they went to an administrator, okay? He actually became an unelected commissioner because everything had to go through him.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is caution, don't let yourselves get in a position where you've got the tail wagging the dog, because it causes unrest, employees that are unhappy because all of a sudden they're reporting to somebody that they don't really get along with or doesn't understand their job. And that becomes uncomfortable. I've watched that county now have 2 recall elections. They're on their 3rd administrator, who now has an assistant, I guess.
right.
So all I'm saying is be cautious that you guys still are available to do what you were elected to do.
And there's
You know,
no
make
other
some of
way.
the tough decisions.
Yeah.
And I understand all this. So for what it's worth, from what I've seen, be very careful that it doesn't go the wrong way, because it can tear a county apart as well.
Sure.
Both ways. They can also benefit.
Well,
So,
absolutely.
both ways.
If things are done correctly,
Yep.
probably fine. I'm just saying, just be
Yep.
very careful that you don't become too insulated.
Yep.
I guess is the ultimate answer to that. It's not a good place to be when you're an elected official and people expect you to hear their wants and needs and
Yeah.
concerns.
And that's why, honestly, why I wrote in a 6-month interim for this, to get it set so that we did it right. This isn't anything, and that we had the input from the department heads and elected officials throughout the county to make sure that we were doing it as we should, as we want, as we see it had the full benefit for the county.
So you
So-
err on the side of caution, and that's always good.
Yes.
So thank you for.
Well, thank you. I-
Thank you.
I appreciate you bringing your experience too. Thank you again.
So we can do one without the other, correct?
What?
We could do one, like the executive assistant, completely separate from the chair duties. I mean,
The what?
the reduction of, to part-time. Changing it, not having a chair. You can do it in 2 separate time frames.
Sure, we can do, yeah,
Whatever
we can
you
do
want.
whatever. Yeah, we can do it however. So I think still to look at those duties that
Yeah.
are the admin duties that are not being done, to see what the duties are, the ones that are not being performed or that need help, would be a good look, just to confirm what we have experienced the last 2 years. So we can bring it back whenever we have
Yeah,
all
we
of
can get
that.
the admin duties. And so this executive assistant job description or position description that you gave us, is that pretty close to what you were doing or are doing? Is there anything addition in there?
I mean, basically, so when we created that management assistant, we took just some of the duties away from the
Okay,
executive
okay,
assistant.
okay.
So really, it's the executive assistant position is all of the management assistant stuff, plus some of the other stuff, which is working with legal counsel and whatnot.
Right. Okay.
All right. Oh, yeah. Anybody else want to speak? Or,
Address the issue that you were asking at that point. There's some more information I'd like to share with you about both of these things that we're discussing, if it's possible.
it's all right with me. Come on up.
3 minutes last time was. Obviously.
Sorry, we'll give you 5 today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
6.
As I pointed out, the role is going to be a lot more enormous than what you're asking on paper. And you're going to find that out more so instantly as you keep going. But the thing is, that position has got to be filled now, immediately. There's no question about it. And that person is going to be trained by Heidi because unfortunately she's one with all the knowledge. It will take some time to get that person up to speed. But that role enormously helps everybody, not just the commission or yours. It helps the court, it helps the department heads just to get communication back and forth. But what I'm concerned about, you mentioned this a couple of times, and Christina, and I'd like to address that. You say you're not comfortable with the change of direction every 4 years, but what you're proposing is a direction change every year. That's even more confusing and difficult to deal with, whether you're staff or you're citizen or anybody else to address issues. I understand your position on that, and I understand too that you're wanting to deal with this. You're trying to fill a role with a qualified person. That's costing a lot of money, which it did before. But an administrator is going to cost a lot more money and take away the communications closely onto you from department heads, because now they're going to have to go through this person, which is another step.
Not necessarily.
Well, that's how it has been in the past year. So, and I've seen it elsewhere. When I was in my position, I couldn't tell you who was in charge in those counties that changed every year. I didn't know.
Oh, no.
I only addressed whoever I was dealing with a specific committee meeting or something that I was involved with that week. But I had no idea who was in charge of the county. And literally sometimes it was not apparent either. So with Baker County, we are uniquely different. As I pointed out before, the role only changed in some of the duties, not the structure of the chair. When Steve Bogart had taken that role, and he did a really good job. But the structure itself is what we count on as citizens or somebody coming in here. We come to whoever the lead person is and deal directly with that person. But that information has to be spread between you. Structurally, in our laws, you guys can't communicate outside of meeting, public meeting.
Right.
Very difficult to do. I understand that. But there is opportunities that you bring information to each other in these work sessions, in our regular sessions, at the end of our meetings, what have you. That's the best time to share. You've got to share that information back and forth. It helps everybody the most. And it comforts us to know that it is getting to all three, because we can't hunt you all down because you're all so busy. My great concern is that role going to halftime. You cut your availability of candidates 2/3 because people cannot afford, if they're younger, to raise a family on half-pay salary. They'd have to have 2 jobs to do so. When you have 2 jobs, as I know in my profession, it splits your attention, splits your duties, it splits your time and everything else. It's a major struggle to do the workload. Christina, I know, has a huge workload now. She can't take on a second job. Fortunately, in her situation, she was able to do this. But it's not something, you're only here for 4 hours a day or whatever structure you want to put. And you switch channels and you go on to something else for another 4 hours a day, which is going to take more time than 4 hours at both jobs. I'm really concerned about the structure. Irregardless of what's going on behind the scenes at this point in time, I don't want to take a short-term fix to a long-term potential problem. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Bill brought up a good point. I had a business that I was half partners in when I won this position, and as I came in, I didn't have time enough to help my brother in the shop, and he, it didn't work out the way he anticipated having me in there, and so he pretty much took it over, and then financial situations, with the economy and overhead, we ended up shutting that business down. And part of the reason for that was because I had to devote all of my time to doing this, which I've done. I'm happy doing it. There's long hours, we've got, like you were saying, the caucus call starts at 7, and there's sometimes I have caucus call at 7 and fair board at 6. So it's easy 12, 13-hour day, but that's what I signed on to do, and I'm not complaining. But you do have to have that point of contact. The other thing I was going to say was, without having somebody in the seat, when like the information on the paint recycling comes through, I can't just send that to you. I need to have someone there that I can just pop around the corner and say, can you email it out to the commission? And that's where we're talking about the communication.
So I just want to address a couple of those things. Change every year for the chair. That isn't something that is set in stone. If we were to change the duties for the chair, they could stay the chair all 4 years. It doesn't matter. Nothing that isn't set. Having an administrator there and not changing every 4 years would give us consistency for the department heads and the county and the inner workings of this county and the business as the county. Hands down. Hunting us down in the future because we have an administrator, that's ridiculous. Like I have said before, this phone is on me 24/7 and 7 days a week. Just a call is all it takes. Hunting him down, you probably have to do that now. That's not anything that an administrator would change, other than being that solid person for conveying all of the issues to all three of us in a timely manner, because we can't talk out of session. That is an advantage there. And everybody says that, if we made this change and we'd all be half time, that is not true. We would all be equal time. It's not half, it's not full. We would do the job just like I am doing right now. I am expected 20 hours a week. I work way more than that, and I don't have a problem with that. I knew that coming in. And so in my proposal was not that we all go to halftime. That is wrong. It is all of us equal time, and that is however long it takes us to get the work done every week. Another thing, to the affordability of $100,000 chair to a $50,000 position with the other two of us, median household for Baker County is $57,844. Per capita income in the last 12 months, $35,829. So it is possible for somebody to be employed at that level, and the level that Commissioner Kaseberg and I are elected to right now. So with that.
And people shouldn't be in this job just for the money.
No,
I mean,
absolutely not.
I mean, honestly, I didn't realize how much they got paid when I ran. And
I
so
didn't
I didn't run it for the money.
Yeah.
I ran it for the county. And so, the pay is a bonus, but
It is.
I just think that we need to make sure that, that's. Anyway.
But there's nothing saying, if
No,
you keep it at
I agree.
the rate that it is, you have someone like me, if it stays, I plan on running again. I have work that I want to accomplish. You don't necessarily know that there won't be a commissioner that stays for 4 years, 8 years, 12 years, if the job's getting done and the electorate like the way the job's getting done, and the pay scale, like former Chair Harvey had said, is up to where you can raise a family on it, you will get someone younger that's dedicated to it and willing to stick it out.
So there's always that option. If it's, like I said, if it's down to, you know, a median wage job, there's no way I could come in and do this work and then get another job that's gonna allow me to fill out all of these committees that we're gonna divvy up here. You know, I couldn't just take off from whatever I was doing to go to the local public safety coordinated council or the fire advisory board.
But you were elected to do it, so, I
Right,
mean,
right,
you
but
do
I'm
it.
full-time and that
You do it.
allows me to be able to do all of that. That's why many of the counties that have an administrator have full-time commissioners too. But we don't, you know, we don't have Morrow County's budget. Which you know where I'm going with this.
You don't want it.
No. So anyway, is there any more that we want to discuss, or did anybody else want to have any more public testimony?
There's a couple of comments online.
Okay, please read them.
From Mayor Aspey, it says, I would like to see the county pursue any avenue that would be less expensive than hiring a brand new position at the price of $100,000 plus. And from Sally Allen from City of Halfway says, will the commission share still change between commission members? Excuse me, each year with the proposal of hiring a full-time administrator.
that is all just
On the
in a
table.
draft form.
Nothing's been decided.
That was all.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right. Do you want to move on to the committees?
How many committees did you say you had? 45?
45.
It's pretty close.
I looked this over and I'm on prison advisory. That was put over to Commissioner Nichols in this list, but I've been doing prison advisory. So
So that one is right now at the same time as TLT.
yeah,
So one of us wants, you need to make a choice between TLT and prison advisory then.
you want TLT?
No, I don't want prison advisory. I'm just kidding. Is this how this works?
TLT only meets quarterly. Okay, my
No,
take,
that's fine.
I've been doing transient lodging tax for 4 years.
Let me change it.
Okay.
Yep.
And I was thinking of you, I mean, do you want TLT? Okay. I was thinking, I've done it for 4 years. The only thing I have, they do a fantastic job. They're doing good work. Keeping them on track on how the money is doled out is the biggest pain in my behind with the whole outfit. I love them dearly, but they just want to help everybody out, but it has to be, you have to follow the rules. They may change the rules in legislation this year.
Yeah.
But you just got to keep them on track and
Yeah.
keep them legal.
So does that go along with EDC then?
Yeah, it can, but it doesn't have to,
So how long have you been on EDC?
just the 2 years. And we're just still trying to, I guess I'd like to keep EDC because as my position as the administrator, and they're, trying to work with the engineers, and I also, the purview of the contracts for the engineers on the ward property fall under me. So it's easier for me to know what they're talking about if I'm legal to go to that meeting.
So TLT for the first 2 meetings, because they're quarterly, I can't go because of county college.
Can you go tomorrow?
Nope. I'm
Oh,
leaving at
you
noon
are.
today. I'm leaving at noon today.
I don't know that it's gonna stay quarterly. I don't
So-
think it's gonna work.
Okay. But yeah, so if there's that, I can't do that for these first 2. So, because I'd kind of like to see, you have a primary and then you have a secondary. So say I can't go, then you go or whatever.
We haven't designated anybody. We just ask amongst ourselves.
Okay.
If you can fill in and take notes and
Okay.
keep them honest.
Okay.
So. Christine, has that been working all right? Like, covering covering the meetings that, if we're gonna be out?
Yeah,
Okay, you don't think there's need to just full on designate a second?
no, I think
I
it's better
wouldn't-
if you give heads up that you're not gonna be there and then
Right,
somebody will
because
fill
then
in.
that's, it also offers flexibility for
Okay.
one of the other two, so, okay. So you good for
Okay.
TLT?
Yep.
Okay,
And you're taking prison advisory.
yeah, because I'm on I've been doing a lot of public safety stuff and it falls in.
So the Watershed Council, what is that?
It's soil and water, well, I don't know exactly what that one is. Watershed Council, I don't know.
Right.
I'm on the watershed. I'm dealing with the watershed.
Well, that's kind of what I was
Issue.
thinking.
I am on the Bigger City Watershed Project.
Yeah,
Michelle, I think that's the Powder Basin Watershed.
I was
it
wondering
is.
if that was the PB or the soil and water. I mean, it's,
No, I think it's Powder Basin Watershed Council.
that's a
Okay.
group across from Crossroads.
which I don't mind having that. I deal with them through the TMDL
sense to
and
me.
through, you know, a lot of other, things. And my newest board, that I was just elected to is the Baker Resource Coalition, which is an at-large, position. So, and the Powder Basin Watershed Council is on that as well. So I'm kind of already intertwined with them, if you want.
Okay. I don't, I was curious because it was weird that it was part of that natural resource thing that it wasn't in here.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know how active Commissioner Nichols was. I
We
honestly
never got a
haven't heard
report
much
out
on
on
it.
Yeah.
And I have to, I do have to
Okay.
work with them quite a bit.
So there's
So
one on
you-
here. There's
want
one,
Mhm.
Okay,
so there's one on here that I don't see, and that's the broadband.
Yeah, he was in
Oh.
on that one with Heidi, and it's because the upper levels of government were pushing for broadband money.
'Cause I've got a meeting.
It's been a long, even Commissioner Bennett was involved in that and in your commission. It's been going on for a long time, and I don't know where you guys are at with that.
I got an email on something about it the other day. Might have been from you, might have been from Bruce, I'm not sure.
So there were a couple of businesses in town that applied for those grant funds through the broadband
Okay.
office. And the last I saw, there were some that were awarded for the area down in like Turkey area, I think.
Okay.
Putting in a line there, but anyways, there isn't a lot we can do.
Okay.
In the county as far as, you know,
But do we
applying
need-
for those, the businesses themselves have applied for those funds.
Do we
but
need to assign a commissioner to that? Okay.
It would be good.
'Cause I've already done some of that, but we take that one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like I say, Commissioner Nichols has been
oh, yeah.
on
Okay,
that
but I'm
for the
surprised it
last
wasn't
2
on the
years.
list, so,
Yeah, if
okay.
you-
I don't think it's not on this list because it's not necessarily a committee. It's just, it's this.
It's like the
project.
recycling one too. huh?
Yeah,
And do you also have the hospital group on
I do
yours?
have the hospital service.
Okay, you have the hospital.
Steering committee, yes.
Well, it's not a committee.
No, it's a
We-
steering,
it's a
whatever.
group.
It's a
It's
group.
just a group.
Okay, thank
and
you.
so that's like the liaison to that.
Yes.
So
And I really want it.
Yep.
Okay.
And they really want her on there.
only problem I've been having with that is I have to pay Kim to come and tell me what's going on.
Mhm.
I'm working on 2 different bills, hospital bills for state and federal. And then if they want me to push on something, I'm having a hard time.
This one has nothing to do with that.
Okay,
Has nothing to do with that.
okay.
So we've got a meeting next week. But this is strictly just local.
And you
I just
have
don't wanna-
and been in on those
Yes.
meetings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bruce,
And I just-
Commissioner Nichols got you.
I just don't want to go over my skis or do anything to put them in a bad spot while I'm advocating for something else.
You won't.
Okay.
You
Okay, well, yeah, go ahead and take that then. And
And
then,
then Fair Board, I'd like Fair Board.
can I have museum?
No?
Oh, they asked me to,
Again, you have a lot of duties with admin, and I think that some of these are the later night ones. And so I've been going to all the museum ones, and I've been doing a lot
well,
of
they,
that
I know,
stuff, so-
they asked me if I would.
Yeah, they asked me
do
to.
it, So,
That's good. So, anyway,
well,
Fair
then
Board-
I'll keep fair.
What's the BLM Museum Committee that you're on?
I don't know. Oh, it's over with. It's a.
For the, when
BLM
the
and-
Nahotic was?
Yeah.
Okay,
And it
so,
never really was a thing.
so you can cross that off of
Yeah,
yours. It
was-
doesn't,
Yeah, it was when they were over there. If they were to come back, maybe. But a lot of what I did with that was just as my role as the administrator. So I'd go, do the walkthrough when they do the different whatever it was, the different displays and programs and stuff like that. And, and work through the, when they were building and get the contracts for the build, and all of that kind of stuff. So,
so I see that we're both listed for the Baker County Livestock
Wait, what is
Association. Why?
Why are you on that committee? Why? I mean, there should just be one, right?
Yeah, and really, there's. Yeah, so, I don't know.
So I'll take care, you take museum.
Huh?
You sure?
Yeah,
The what?
I'll take care if you take museum. There's a lot of things up there that are going on, but,
Well, it made more sense to me.
Yeah.
And
I just think because there are a lot of night meetings and I don't have a problem with that. I don't have kids to take care of. I don't
Right.
have any of that. And so because they're all night meetings. And so we just need to make sure that they're covered and that we go.
I know this is gonna sound silly, but the museum's like one of the only fun ones I get to do. So, is that, and I don't want any trouble between us over it.
No, there's not.
Okay,
You just get to deal with the museum board.
well, right. Okay, so we'll do it that way. You take
And I'll
fair
take-
and.
I'll take BCLA,
I'll. What is it?
Baker County Livestock Association.
Oh, yeah, I don't,
Do we vote on a budget officer since you're new? Since we have a new commissioner on the board?
no, it's just automatic. It's always just automatically been me as the chair.
And is there a reason for that?
Full time and always over there, as soon as the
But the
budget's.
budget officer is the one that works on the budget, right?
Yeah.
And if I'm gonna do the financials, and I can see that, if you wanted me to do the financials, it makes sense to do the budget.
The financial, like what you're doing, you just.
I'm having an
We-
issue with what was being done, so I just want to step
Okay.
up. I just think that we need to just be a little bit more proactive in that.
With
I'm
your
not-
background, I would like to see you as budget.
Because the budget
budget
officer,
officer.
you know, there's also some things that working with Christina and whatever, I think that there's some things that haven't quite got done that we need to get done.
Yeah.
And,
Strictly due to your background is why I would encourage Commissioner Case
Bill,
to be the
is
budget
that-
officer.
Can you come back since I've got you? Can I bend your ear as
All
a,
I can say is that historically, it's always been the commission chair.
That's-
It's on a daily basis.
Historically, but it's not set.
Just saying, so.
Okay.
so I
I
guess
would-
what are the duties of the budget officer then?
we compile a budget after the department heads turn it in, and then
Okay,
we prepare it before budget meetings, and then a budget officer, works with the administrative assistant or whatever the role is.
so during the course of the year, other than budget, so March, April, May.
We look over all of the, with money that gets moved between,
So that's what I'm doing.
Yes,
So why, so I'm already doing that, because Bruce was doing that.
I would
well-
really like to see you in that.
I'm just asking because
well.
we're saying things aren't getting done. And so if there's a way that we can create this position or create these duty separations, that jobs get done. That's my
That's what
concern.
people are saying. If we want to look at changing anything,
We gotta make
let's
sure this is
step up
done first.
and make sure it's done. And administrative and budget is number one.
But it makes it hard for me when, I've got department heads coming in and saying, hey, this is a project that I want to do, and this is,
But that isn't the budget officer's job. The budget officer's job is to make sure that you are in, to present the budget and get a fair budget from what I understand, to get
And
the
make-
budget.
And make sure that the budget is balanced and.
And to
Correct.
take the load, the extra load, that load, that little bit, whatever it is, from the administrative, from
Yeah.
helping out that office when it comes to that.
You know,
And
and
they
so-
have been stressed to the max the last
So
2 years.
I-
So there's a statute, I think, that defines the duties of the budget officer, and we
Yeah.
can get you a copy
Okay,
for everybody.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
so that would just need to be moved on at the next meeting.
Yeah, yep, decide on that at the next meeting. So you're okay, I mean, if you start from the top, Michelle, on your, so prison advisory goes to
Shane.
Commissioner Alderson, Blue Mountain Community
Yes, yes,
College,
yep.
you're gonna keep that.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's
you
fine.
And
keep
the LCAC, RCAC,
I'm not sure exactly what that is.
I don't know
Can I
what,
have that?
so they touched on that yesterday, or on
Is that the
Monday.
CCO that they? were
That-
talking
Yeah,
about?
that
Okay,
is
all right,
what they
okay.
touched on.
And I've been working
AOC.
on, and I kind of work with them with managing the contract for New Directions. So it'd be beneficial to me to have that, so I have a better understanding of what's going on.
But New Directions is under, that's been Commissioner Nichols,
Well,
and it's still under her. So were you looking at taking New Directions? And continuing on? I thought you,
I just
Mine.
assumed by talking to Bruce that that was part of them.
yeah, that makes sense.
And what about NEOEDD? Both of us can't be on there.
Yeah,
we
you actually
we
have to.
Have to.
You
It's
have
by
to?
Yeah.
statute.
Yep, that is one that you have to.
Is that by their statute or they're by their?
It's when they were created by statute in legislature. Yeah, it's 2 representatives from each county.
Yes.
2 representatives or 2 commissioners?
Yeah, I'd have to read it again, but
Commissioners.
Is it
Pretty
2
sure.
commissioners on NEOEDD?
But what we did is we alternated who went.
Yeah.
All those same ones. all the time.
Okay,
Cut down some of them.
Bruce and I ended up going to them at the same time because it was on their audit board
Mhm.
or
that was the
something.
one
Is
that,
it? Yeah,
and so Bob Savage just talked to me about that.
right.
So the Board of Property Tax Appeal,
Yep.
that's a
Yeah,
perfect fit
yep,
for
I already-
you.
No one's gonna fight you for that one.
Yeah, no, we've got training on that. I've been doing training, so.
How about the Mental Health Committee?
So if you do that, you should do New Directions. I think those 2 go together, correct?
And that's why Commissioner Nichols had New Directions Northwest, Mental Health Committee, and that LCAC. All of those kind of work together. Same cause, same work.
Do you? Sherry had reached out and said she would like to see me do New Direction, but do you really want it?
Yeah, they love, they.
I don't know at this point, 'cause I don't know what's all involved. So,
Okay, we can come back to a couple of those if you
Yeah,
want to,
yeah,
if you want to
let's-
consider
okay,
some of them.
so if you think that these 3 kind of go together,
Yes, I do.
They do.
The
yeah.
Northwest,
Okay.
yeah,
so can we,
care and the mental health. Committee. Yep. Alcohol and drug planning.
Who wants, are you good with the B2H committee?
I'm on it.
Okay, that's fine with me. Well, it falls under your purview a lot more right now.
Yes, and right now, a lot of it is in with the attorney.
I was gonna say it's in court.
So, and we're all getting reports on it as
Yeah.
the legal comes through on that, so.
Um,
Yeah, I'm fine with everything that I have, and then I just, like I said, I just added Baker Resource Coalition a couple weeks ago, and then I'll take the Powder Basin Watershed Council, because that falls into that as well.
So there was one called East Marion Jobs Council. What is that?
Oh, that is a problem.
Where's that?
They just started it up. It's
Oh,
not on here.
Oh,
Bruce
But-
was on it. It had kind of died, if you will,
Yeah,
and they're trying to resurrect it back.
right.
The gal is from Baker, and I don't know exactly.
Oh, Aaron.
Erin, yes, thank you.
So poor Aaron tried to explain this to me for 2 years and I finally. I
It's
figured
quite
out.
convoluted.
it's not
with
good.
money and all that stuff.
So
So,
it is just like,
but somebody from the commission needs to be on it.
yeah, and I'd like it to be, but it's gonna be kind of a bad startup. So the situation is just like NEOEDD. That is mandated by the state
Yep.
and how it's supposed to run, and that
And nobody
jobs,
shows up.
that jobs board hasn't been convened in a very long time.
2
But
years.
they pick the I don't remember how this goes. I need a flow chart for it. They pick the board members that dole out the money for tech. I'm on the tech board, and we're trying to get them up and running and more fluid.
I don't see that on, oh, training.
Yeah,
Training
so I
implement.
can't be on both. I got stuck on both, but I didn't understand the role because they hadn't met. So the Jobs Council, and you're gonna have to get the statute and make sure everything is running according to oil, so that we can really function like we're supposed to in tech.
Okay.
So are you, it's a big,
No, she's and I are already on it, so.
okay. And I'll do what I can to try to help you with that. Aaron will have a much better,
She and I have been in contact. so.
good, okay. And I told her that I was hoping he would take that. So it's gonna be one
So,
of your more challenging things to get cut back together.
Cultural Coalition, what is that?
So we just got new members to that board. Heidi, do you have a description of the Cultural Coalition?
Just off the top, they work on just.
It's like art
Sorry.
and
Yes,
culture
arts and cultural stuff.
projects.
And I don't know how active it's been. We did just assign a couple new people to the board, kind of reinvigorating the board, I believe. It's gonna be interesting to see
Yeah.
with the new members. I don't know who chairs it, but to see what's going on with that committee. And you can just kind of, if you want to just kind of leave that hanging out there until we see what their new agenda is, I think. I think it's gonna, I don't know how many people are on there to continue what they've been doing.
I didn't think they were super active, but then last year I did get invoice of some money. And then apparently I think there is a budget line.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's come to me
Money?
maybe one time.
It's one of those that I think we have to have.
It's not.
I don't think it's a great amount of work.
$5,000.
It's pretty small.
Michelle, we have I think they have a spot on our website.
They
Oh,
do.
okay.
Yeah,
There
So
might be
just-
some more
okay.
information out there.
Okay.
I know they do some grants and stuff.
Would Crossroads fit, I mean,
Yeah,
kind of
like
Crossroads, I
Ginger
want to
Oh,
say
wow,
Crossroads
Ginger.
and Ginger. and-
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. I think the Cultural Coalition has supported things at Crossroads.
So is this kind of related to the statewide
Yeah.
cultural one?
I believe so.
I could be
Okay,
wrong,
I'll ask
just read
Ginger.
it.
I'll ask Ginger.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then Blue Mountain Translator.
Yeah, good luck with that.
We use them, so.
We do too.
I don't know how they're still up and running. I don't know how we're still getting a signal because apparently they're nearly defunct.
Because people don't pay their bills.
We never get billed.
I mean, I
It's
put on
supposed
my
to,
taxes.
it's supposed to come out of your taxes.
It comes out of my taxes. I just put on my taxes.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know how they're running right now.
Well, they got a satellite up in the sky.
No. No, that's not it. I don't know.
It's nice that they're still there though.
If you want to take that, I can put you in contact with somebody that knows. But
Well,
it's,
is that what Bruce
again-
was doing?
yeah, but I don't think they've met in
They have to, because they're a board, they're a,
2
they have to
years.
meet.
You
They
make
do.
them. I
They make it up.
You make them.
Okay.
Well, I
Okay,
think it's another deal where like the chair's just been doing the thing, and so you may end up with Yeah, and I've got a few letters over my 2 years here of discontent from people who don't use them and then get billed.
Well, then they need to be communicating with, translator district. And
They
it
won't.
says,
That's the
the
problem.
letter says, if you aren't using it, let us know.
Well, I was just
Let's
saying,
see.
I think the Flumac Translator District, the board is for the whole region, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
They do meet regularly.
Yeah.
Mark Warner is on board with them.
Okay.
So,
Oh, yeah, Randy
Michelle,
is,
yeah,
Randy
Randy
is.
is.
Okay,
good.
So,
You'll let Randy know when I'm on it.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, see, and there's been no correspondence between my office back to them when I've reached out. There's
I
been,
know he's not the president or anything, but he's
Yeah.
on the board, so if Michelle reaches out, he can.
I'll reach out to Randy.
Yeah,
Okay,
I know.
perfect, thank you.
so that's good if they are meeting again.
Yeah, they do
because when I-
regularly, yeah.
Okay, good.
And I know that they do also send out, let people know that if they, don't want that on the taxes, there's a form they have to fill
Yep.
and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Pictures and take.
And that's regularly.
Yep.
So, yeah, and I've
let and
received
send out to
several
people.
letters saying when they've done that, there's been no correspondence back from the board, so.
We'll
Yeah,
find out.
Michelle,
Okay.
are you on the Livestock Association? You and Colin, are you involved
No, I'm
in,
not a member. I'm not a paying member.
you're the cattle, you're with the
Women.
Cattle Women's Association?
So I guess by default. So I don't know, is that,
I mean, whereas Commissioner Alderson and I mean,
Oh,
I've,
what?
Baker County Livestock Association, it lists both of us. I don't know if that would fit more with
I'll take it.
Yeah,
what you're doing,
I'll take it.
bringing cattlewomen
Right.
into the fray
It means I have to pay
for
my
the
dues.
livestock. And that would put you at around 16 at this point.
Oh, you've already been keeping track. I haven't been keeping
Yeah,
track.
I'm at 25.
So is that with the three that we're gonna talk about, the directions, mental health and coordinated care?
yeah.
That's 16.
Included in that is, so then that would be 16, right around there, last count, if we switch that over to you.
Okay.
So then that brings mine down to 24, and Commissioner Alderson's to 28, or to 18, So,
You have the broadband, recycling, and hospital steering in there as well, right?
huh? Broadband wasn't on the list.
Broadband, recycling and hospital, no.
They-
I'm not on the
They're
list.
not on this one.
No,
Okay, so then that
Be
ups
three
yours
more.
by 3, 19.
So
So you're right around there.
Okay.
18 for Commissioner Alderson, 19 for you, and I'm at 24.
well, and like I said, if I would like I said, I'd like to take CCNO and
CCNO.
So community connections is not on here, or is
No.
that the transportation?
No, it's not on here.
or no, what am I?
Is it should be?
Coordinated care.
Community connections, no, okay. That's Donnie, right?
That's a transit grant.
Yeah,
That's
Oh,
a
so
grant
that's-
person.
Okay,
That's not a committee or.
okay.
yeah, I don't need to be on the livestock association for you. Yeah, I'll take.
Well, if you want, to me, those three go together. So if you take those three, I take budget officer.
Well, we don't know that we can't yet. By statute.
We'll find out.
Well, yeah, the other thing I was gonna say though, like, NEOEDD is quarterly.
And it doesn't matter if it's quarterly or whatever, it still just made the time that it takes to do it if they have other meetings or whatever.
Right, but
You know.
but some of these meet monthly and, so NEOEDD isn't a horrible time crunch. There's things that go into it, like if we're asking them to, for housing money or something like that, that you have to prepare a few days before, but it's not a big time crunch. Last year, transient lodging tax really tanked me. It was a lot more time burned on that than I would have liked. And that's why I appreciate handing that off. And I've been there for a long time.
I just want to make sure that when we do this and we start detailing all the admin duties, that the admin duties and this all make sense. And that's where I'm
Well, And that's kind of the thing, you know, because I oversee a lot of the money transfers for New Directions and their contract and, you know, kind of
Don't they
over.
have, so you work with Lisa on that? For New Direction, oh, New Directions.
New
That's
Directions.
Sherry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, and yes, we do work with Lisa on the other thing.
So you are a signer on the account?
Yeah.
Should the commissioner be a signer on the account?
If you're the administrator, yeah. Yeah. So all of the money that comes through the
No,
state.
I'm talking about, no, so you're the administrator of New Directions?
No, that's Sherry Sealander runs the place.
So I'm
but
saying why, I just.
There are
Sure.
contractors. So a county is required.
I understand, but I'm just concerned that as a commissioner, that you have signing authority on their checks. I think that can be a conflict of interest when it comes up to budgeting and things like that. That's just me.
How?
I can answer the question.
Thank you.
Yeah,
County contracts with New Directions, we only sign for funding from the state.
Right.
To them. We have no authority over their budget.
No.
So we're passing the money through. A commissioner sign those checks.
Okay.
but if I'm signing them and I want to know, you know, like their audit is up to date and there's all of that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just easier for me to, if I know what's going on, it's easier for me to maintain a little control over it, so.
Do you want to change the way that one commissioner is over seeing department heads?
I think that that's a possibility of, as we come down to duties, new executive assistant, whatever that does. Because right now, everybody reports to you, is that
Yeah.
correct? And back in your day, from what I understand, Bill, not everybody directly reported to the chair. They kind of, like, somebody did facilities, somebody did,
Well, elected officials.
don't.
Right.
Yeah, not
I'm trying to
elected
think,
officials, we're
I'm trying to
saying
think county
department
admin,
heads.
I'm trying to think of the ones that, facilities,
We're saying department
road
heads.
department, health district.
The majority of the department heads came through my office, but Mark had specialties, so he was emergency management,
Okay.
planning, some of those things that he worked on.
Okay.
Bruce, I don't think was overseeing any department heads.
I don't think so, yeah.
But it was predominantly for communication, budget purposes, and things like that. Commission. I worked on the budget with Christina so much
Right.
so that I would give her that information.
Right.
We discuss it on
Okay.
a constant basis.
I believe that the department heads prefer it this way. I think they like my leadership, and it does give one point of contact when problems come up. It's easy enough for me if any of the department heads come up and say, I've got a personnel issue. And we, you know, go talk to Heidi and
So then it
work
comes
out.
back to, if you're doing that and you're doing all of these as well, there's to me something, I'm concerned about.
It
delegation
also
of duties.
comes back to more work on Heidi. He just said it, that they'll go to Heidi. And that's
That's
that.
not what I said at all.
You just said that they go to
If
Heidi.
there's a personal
If there's a
issue-
personal issue that I'm just repeating what you just said, that they go to Heidi. So so the last 2 years.
That would be the
There
same
has
if you
been
had
an
that administrator.
increase in what has been put on that office, and that is the truth.
It would be the same if you had an administrator. They would come to the administrator and say, so-and-so's
I'm
broken
not
this
talking about the
rule.
administrator, I'm talking about the three of us overseeing departments.
But you're paying me to do that work.
But again, we don't have that down as a job duty. I mean, honestly, we don't have that. It's not detailed out,
Going back to the detail.
going back to the detail. So that's where I want to go back. I think we've got the cart before the horse again. We
Yeah.
need to go back and look at the job duties.
Yep.
And then we can do this again.
Yep.
And so we probably have to have another work session.
Yes. Not the last Wednesday this month, because that is full of meetings
We've got,
already.
we have one we have a work
Not
session
on
at
the
1 o'clock on the
29th.
29th. We've got a 1 o'clock. We've got,
That's for the ambulance. Right.
Yeah.
It's already determined what's on there?
Yeah.
Okay.
At the last public hearing, it was decided to have a work session to bring it back and have a preview of what was going to be presented at the public hearing on February 5th.
I missed that.
At 1.
Okay,
Oh, February 5th, not the 29th.
No, there's a work session. You guys wanted a work session
On
on
the
the 29th
29th.
for a preview of the changes and then a public hearing.
that was
on
right. We did that with the city,
That's all
right?
right. That's all right.
And the
And
ambulance.
that's
Okay,
what they're
okay,
Changing
yeah,
the ASA.
Okay.
The plan and the ordinance.
okay.
All right.
I just wrote down work
Most
session.
of
I
my stuff
completely-
is that morning,
Because I had PVAP training that morning,
and I have a full morning
Yeah.
as well, so 1
so it's
o'clock.
1 o'clock. Okay.
So yeah, that's one of those things where if I'm not on fire advisory board and ambulance service area committee, and I'm trying to, work between county and the city, then
But you're on
it's-
them.
You are on that.
You are on them.
I know, that's what I'm just saying, that's like, sometimes it just naturally falls into place where, I end up just being the right person to do that because I see this stuff coming through all the time. I talk to the leadership at Pioneer and maintain the contract for those people.
So is this set in stone or do we have to wait till the next meeting?
I think what you have identified as the ones that you definitely want, there's a couple in question. I don't think that
Yeah.
that's bad to, I
Okay.
think you can leave those kind of
Okay.
out until you have more information on them. But I think that if you've already decided on it, then you should run with it until we can
Okay.
get back in
Yeah.
work
Okay.
session or back to session where we can talk about it.
Are we
So there's-
still out on mental health and?
Yep.
And
New Directions
Yeah.
and the LCAC,
Yep.
RCAC, whoever does that should do all 3.
I agree. And the budget officer, we need to know detail on that.
Okay,
okay, do you want this on for next regular meeting?
Do we need it on the next regular meeting?
Well, we should.
We should put it, we have to, okay.
yeah, if we can keep on going on it and get
Yeah,
it set,
set it.
And
this-
then make it a final decision on
just
it.
for everybody's workload.
We don't
Yep.
need to be in July, so. we're-
Nope, okay.
So just to clarify, at next week's meeting, you want to just discuss this some more, or do you want me to have orders prepared for appointment? And not all of these require appointment, you're just a liaison,
Right.
not actually on
Right.
the board.
Right, you're a
So-
liaison too.
Liaison
But
doesn't
some of
need
them
an
do
order.
require orders, so if, I just need to know if I need to prepare orders for next.
Did you
week
keep
or
track of
just-
what we were talking about? Do you want this?
Yeah,
Do you want my notes?
I've got some notes here,
Okay.
but.
All right.
On any of them that are set,
Yeah.
I imagine
Let's
that
do
we
it,
can move forward
Yeah.
if there are orders related to those. And then with the ones in question, I think if we just have them on there for discussion so that maybe we can finish it up.
Yeah.
And then if we needed orders on those, then we've got the 29th.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
But you'll go to TLT tomorrow.
I think, I gotta look, I think
You got prison
prison
advisory.
advisory over the top of it, so,
Okay.
yeah.
what's tomorrow?
There was a hand raise, I don't know.
Oh.
Um,
I didn't even see that, I'm sorry.
What time is the TLT?
I think it's 9.
9.
And prison advisory's at 9.
The PAC meetings at 9.
Yeah.
Person advisory.
That's right, yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
and so the TLT is at 9 here.
Uh-huh.
I'll go ahead and put that on. I should be done with Cliff Bence's office, field officer. By 9, I'll just be done by 9 in
Okay.
order, so I'll add that on so that I can sit in on it
I've
anyway.
not seen an agenda or anything, so I don't know what's going on.
What's
I
that?
don't even know what's on the agenda for TLT.
Yeah, I don't know, but I can sit in on it. That's not a
Okay.
problem. So this
Thank
is
you.
one of those situations where that's why we don't delegate a
Okay, a
second
yes.
on it because both of
Okay.
you aren't available.
And so if we know this, every commission meeting, we know what's coming up for the next 2 weeks, so, okay.
That's why we do our calendars.
Nora, I'm sorry, I didn't notice you had your hand raised. I don't know how long it's been up. Are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm still here.
What'd you have?
Well, I wanted to touch on the assistant position a little bit. I think that it's a really unique opportunity that is available at the moment that should be taken advantage of immediately. It's something that can alleviate some of those responsibilities right now, should the right person come into that position. I think that it would be a really great idea to take advantage of that. In regards to the other two proposals that were discussed earlier, looking at this as a voter from a voter's position, I have not seen or heard enough clear information on this to feel comfortable at all with this moving forward as it is written or as it's been stated to be. I've heard far too much contradiction, and if this is something that is going to be pursued any further, I would really strongly recommend that this be discussed in public sessions between the three of you and redraft this. I don't see this as a complete plan. I know it hasn't been stated to be a complete plan, but continuing to push this at every meeting without actually looking at how it is written and how it can be written better to make it more understandable for people and get these things really clearly defined, you're gonna, unfortunately, I think if this is pushed through the way it is, or even closely to the way that it is right now, without having this all very clearly defined, written in language that people can understand, that the voters can understand, you're going to run into a position like what was stated with Morrow County. I feel that this is incredibly rushed. And I personally do not see this as a benefit the way that it is. I understand that there are a lot of extra stresses going on right now. I do want to fall back on what Bill Harvey said. There's three of you. Shane does immediately take over some of those department head responsibilities and falls over them immediately just because he is the administrator currently. But there are three of you that can play part in this. And I think that with the tools you have available right now, you all can work on taking those responsibilities and making it easier for everybody without pushing this through as it is. So I would really strongly recommend that that be your course of action, to review this as a group in a public meeting and start from square one with it.
Okay. Nora, I'm sorry if I didn't catch you before when we were discussing it. I apologize for not watching the screen.
Hey, you know what? It's a public meeting. I can talk about whatever I want with my 5 minutes.
I should have got you up sooner. Though. I apologize. But I appreciate that. And as we go forward with it, I want to have, if we do anything else, it has to be public hearing style, I think, to accommodate how people in the community feel.
I would really highly recommend that. I know I'm jumping in over my time a little bit here, but I mean, you're all elected to this position, and I think that it is really important that you guys keep the trust of the people that voted you in. And that's one of the benefits of having the chair position or the administrator position as it is currently. If it were to remain that way, that just has more trust value for the people that put you there. As it was stated at a previous meeting, yes, it does cause some confusion if that seat changes, but that's part of what American legislation is. That's part of what our rights are as voters, and I don't expect to be in my seat forever. I know somebody's going to take my space because they can maybe do it better than I can. It's the situation of what it is, and it's the reality,
Did we lose you?
No, my daughter's got her tablet in the background. It's kind of loud.
Okay. What was that, everything?
Essentially, yes. You know, I
Okay.
don't come in here in a spirit of trying to piss anybody off. I'm somebody who's elected to a position of so-called power, and I want to make sure that I am representing everybody else's rights to, you know, play a part in this decision. And, you know, that we are in America, we have a right to vote. And
Yeah.
I think that that shouldn't be taken away because something might be able to be rushed through potentially or whatever. I mean, like I said, I don't want to piss anybody off. I just want to make sure that this is done correctly and in a way that is going to be beneficial.
Okay,
Travis.
Travis?
So, real quick, switch gears, I want to go back to the HR position. I think you guys should look at having a dedicated HR position in the
Yeah.
county. We're big enough, I've been involved enough HR type issues. I think we need someone dedicated to that position, so just don't lose sight of that, please.
Yeah, you bet, you bet. No, and you're absolutely correct in that. It's, well, even when, the Oregon family leave came on, that put a large burden on what Heidi's been doing. Navigating how that was rolled out and
Well,
then,
and I appreciate that. I don't,
Yeah.
whether it's Heidi or not, we just need a dedicated HR.
Right,
I mean, I
right.
think we need to not look at the people, let's look at the position. I think.
You
I
bet.
think Baker County's in a spot where we need. an HR
I agree with
position.
that.
I just don't want you to lose sight of that.
no, you're right, and
And
I
I-
appreciate that.
I agree. I agree. Anything else, Christina?
I guess we did.
Yeah.
Anything
I don't
else?
have anything
I
else.
don't either.
I appreciate everybody's, do you have something else?
Just wanted to clarify, so what time did you guys want to meet on the 29th? It sounded like there might
It's
be.
1:00.
Is it
Because
one?
I've got training from 9 to 12 and I
Okay.
think that Christina has a meeting from 9 to 12. So if we could meet at 1
1 o'clock
on the 29th, yeah.
That's again for the ASA? Okay,
Work session.
okay,
So
works for me.
I just wanted to thank everybody for their
I,
comments. Bill, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Because the history, you know, I mean, I've been around the county and all that stuff, but you lose, you don't, not in the individual details.
Well, I'm old enough to be history now.
Yeah, there you go. You're not, I don't think I'm older than you, so anyway, but I appreciate that. That's very good.
yeah, I definitely want to say thank you for everybody that can come out, and then the past commissioners that I've been able to call on to ask these questions are very valuable to me, and I just want you to know I'm not afraid to humble myself and try to ask the questions, and I really appreciate everybody, you know, you and Steve to come out and help us out with these things. I know you're taking time out of your day, and it means a lot to us. Thank you. All right, I guess with no other business, we'll adjourn.
That's it.
All right,
I'm headed to Corvallis.
3 meetings. We're doing great on time. Look at us.